A situation I've witnessed was a woman hitting her child in a public place. Even though I am sure her intentions were to discipline her child for his actions, all I saw was aggression and that the child was hurt. Disciplining a child by hitting him or her could be considered child abuse, especially in today's society. It made others around me and myself very uncomfortable to stand by and watch.
Acceptable techniques, but this has become a very
This portrayed social inequality because stepping in would have made the mother felt as if I was taking over her job. In that situation, I had no control over her child or her actions, which made me feel inferior to the mother. He was not my child, nor was she. What right did I have to discipline in a different way? This caused me not to speak up. The term bystander effect refers to the phenomenon in which the greater the number of people present, the less likely people are to help a person in distress. When an emergency situation occurs, observers are more likely to take action if there are few or no other witnesses. Being a part of a large crowd makes it so no single person has to take responsibility for an action. Also, being in a large crowd, we believe that someone else will step up, so we feel no obligation to step up ourselves. Bystander effect is what was happening here. There was a crowd of people in the store, and none of us felt like it was our responsibility to say something. We shared the same mindset that someone else will do it for me. Norms are written and unwritten rules that specify behaviors appropriate and inappropriate to a particular social situation. In this situation, it was not normal for a woman to be hitting her child in a public place, nonetheless in a private place. In a quote-unquote normal world, a woman would not hit her child, especially in today's time. She would discipline him with words, pulling him aside and telling him not to do what he did. If the mom would have used words, it would have been fine and no one would have noticed, but instead, she used spanking, which caused many people to be concerned. I responded in the way that I did because I did not know what the mother would have done if I had stepped in. I felt as if it was not my place to tell her what she can and cannot do. Socialization is a process by which people acquire a social identity and learn about the groups in which they belong and do not belong. In this particular situation, the people around me and I acquired a social identity together because we all saw that no one else was saying anything, so we decided to not say anything as well. Subconsciously, we were thinking, if I say anything, I'm not going to fit into the group that is around me. According to the textbook, structural strain is any situation in which the valued goals of a society have unclear limits. People are unsure whether the legitimate means will allow them to achieve the goals, and the legitimate opportunities for reaching the goals remain closed to a significant portion of the population. I felt that I did not know where my limits were, and if I stepped in, could it have been pushing the limits? And if I would have stepped in, would it have changed anything anyways? I could have stepped in and said that this is not how you should discipline a child, but if I would have, who knows, it could have made the mother even angrier and she could have hit the child even more. Or it could have made her embarrassed, or possibly it could have made her realize that her actions were wrong and she would change them in the future.
acceptable techniques, but this has become
And a future memo to myself: when I have the opportunity to say something, I am going to, in hopes that it could change something.